All right, welcome to the Explainer. Listen, if you're getting ready for that PCI Level 1 or 2 exam, you are in the perfect spot. We're going to do a quick and dirty crash course on concrete placement. Really zero in on the stuff you absolutely have to know to pass.
Okay, let's get right into it. The whole point of this is to make these rules feel like second nature, So when you walk into that exam, you're not even thinking, you just know. We're going to hit the highlights, just the need-to-know stuff. You ready? Let's do it. First things first, we've got to talk about the foundations, the core principles of placement. I want you to think of these as the unbreakable laws. You get these wrong, nothing else matters. This is your base for quality work, and for passing that test. Okay, let's make this one super clear. Retempering. You see concrete starting to get stiff, you might be tempted to add a little water. Just don't do it. It's completely forbidden. Why? You're totally wrecking that crucial water-to-cement ratio, which just kills the final strength of the product. This is a big deal, an automatic fail on the job, and for sure a question you'll see on the exam.
Now, before you even think about pouring concrete, this checklist has to be done. It's not optional, it's a mandatory QC step. You gotta inspect those forms. Are they clean? I mean, spotless. No dust, no leftover debris, nothing. And you have to double check that the right form release agent is on there. If you skip this, you're asking for trouble. Ugly surfaces, things not bonding right, it's a mess. All right, so the prep work is done. Now let's talk technique. This is all about how you actually get the concrete in the mold. The whole game here is to keep it all mixed together nice and uniform. We're trying to prevent something called segregation. That's a fancy word for the rock and the sand separating from the cement paste, which is not good. So what's the goal? To make one single, solid piece of concrete, a monolithic unit. Think of it like this. You want it all to become one thing, with no seams. That means when you're placing it in layers, each new layer has to chemically bond with the one you just put down while it's still wet. If you let that first layer start to set up, boom, you get a cold joint. And that's just a built-in weak spot. Okay, let's talk about self-consolidating concrete, or SCC. This stuff flows, right? So there are two main ways to place it. Method 1, you start at one end of the form and just let it flow all the way to the other end. Method 2, you start right in the middle and let it flow out towards the sides. What's the one thing you don't do? You never start pouring at both ends and have them meet in the middle. It's like two waves crashing together. They'll trap a ton of air and won't mix right. And this quote right here, this is straight from the book, it really nails the why. It's saying you should always pour fresh concrete onto concrete that's already there. Don't just spray it against the side of the mold. Why? Because that keeps the mix together. It stops the rocks from separating and rolling away, and it seriously cuts down on those little air bubbles getting trapped. The result? A much stronger, better-looking product. Okay, everybody. Deep breath. I need you to really lock in on this next section. This is where all the numbers are. We're talking severe weather conditions. This is guaranteed to be on your exam, so let's get these details down cold. First up, the magic number range. You just have to burn this into your brain. The concrete itself, as you are placing it, has to be between 50 and 95 degrees Fahrenheit, period. No exceptions, this is a non-negotiable. So you've got two different enemies depending on the weather. When it gets cold, and we're talking below 40 degrees, your whole job is to stop it from freezing. You got to keep it warm enough so the chemical reaction, the hydration, can actually happen. Now flip that. When it's hot, over 80 degrees, you're fighting a different battle, evaporation. You have to stop the concrete from drying out before it's had a chance to cure properly. So how do you fight the heat? You've got a whole arsenal of tricks, and you can bet the exam will ask you to pick from a list like this. You can do things like chill your aggregates, or even use ice instead of some of the water in the mix. After it's placed, you can cover it with wet burlap or keep it in the shade. Oh, and a big one, you can use special admixtures that slow down the setting time, which buys you more time to work. And see that last one? If your steel forms are hotter than 120 degrees, you gotta spray them down. Now for the cold. Remember, once the air temperature dips below 40, you're in the game, and your main move is to heat the forms. Why? Because you have to keep the concrete at 50 degrees or warmer. Remember that magic number? If it drops below 50, that chemical reaction that gives concrete its strength just grinds to a halt. It won't cure right, and it'll be weak.
All right, you've absorbed a lot. We've hit principles, techniques, weather. Now let's do a super fast final review. This is the lightning round, just the numbers. Get ready to lock these in for the test.
40 degrees. What is it? That's when you have to start your cold weather precautions. 40 degrees. 50 degrees. This is your absolute minimum. The concrete can't be any colder than this when you place it or while it's curing. 50 is the floor. 80 degrees, the opposite trigger. When it hits 80, you switch on your hot weather brain and start those procedures. 1 inch. This one's a little different. It's the minimum thickness you need for a facing mix after it's been consolidated. 1 inch.
And the last one, 120 degrees. If a steel form gets this hot, what do? You spray it with water. Simple as that. Okay, let's run them back. 40, 50, 80, 1 inch, and 120. Got it?
And that's it. That's the core of what you need to know about concrete placement for your exam. The principles, the right techniques, and those critical numbers. You've got this stuff now. The knowledge is in your head. So go on, get in there, and ace that certification.